the Nelson Community Food Center in our big, beautiful kitchen, and I'm going to talk to you today about
onions.
So, kind of the base of so many of the dishes that I like to make. I think they're really common. Soup base, stir fry, you name it. Onions are usually in the recipe. So I'm just going to show you some really basic knife skills of how you cut an onion. And I mean, there's all kinds of, there's all different ways of doing this, and there are many opinions about how to cut an onion and how to not cry while you're cutting an onion. And I have yet to completely figure out the formula of how to not cry, so I might be crying here shortly. We'll soon find out. So this is the way that I first learned to peel an onion. You're gonna cut, but not all the way down, sort of 90% through, and that's gonna give you something that you can kind of pull on there. And you can do the same thing on the other side. I'm just gonna get a bit of this off. The peeling is a bit of a painful part. It definitely helps if you have a sharper knife and you're not feeling too stressed out, because it might take you a little while. So this is one way of doing it. But when I am cooking for a lot of people and I've got to get the job done quickly, I actually like to use my knife and kind of peel as if I would peel a potato. Kind of use my thumb, get right in there, and we're almost good. Oh, I can feel the tears coming on. And I'm just gonna put all of this stuff in our compost. Another handy tip, I always have a compost bucket on the counter. Any kind of container will work. If I'm chopping mushrooms, I'll use the mushroom container that they came in. Maybe I'll use my actual compost container or yogurt container, but just makes it a lot an easier cleanup, you could say. So I just cut the onion right in half there, and first we're just gonna do some slices. So this is how I would cut my onions if I'm caramelizing them, maybe if I was doing a stir fry. So you can see here I'm bracing the onion with my left hand, my not dominant hand, and I'm keeping my fingers kind of up, and that's going to protect my fingers from the knife, basic knife skills. And I'm going to kind of move my hand along as I'm chopping there, and I'm going in with the tip of the blade and coming right down. So this is how I would chop an onion, caramelized onions, maybe to start a soup that I was going to blend, because they're going to be kind of like long and stringy, and maybe you want that in your dish, but it really depends on what you're making. So now I am going to show you how I would chop onions if I want to chop them finely. And a lot of people have a difficult time getting their onions really consistent in those little tiny, tiny squares, if you want to put them on a sandwich or something like that. So here, I'm going with my bigger flat side on the bottom, because that's going to give me a more stable base for chopping. And then I'm going to, from the top here, from the round side over, I'm going to chop down, and again, kind of like when I was peeling the onion, I'm only going to chop 90% of the way through. So I'm going to go like so, and I'm doing about 1/4 of an inch thickness this way, and just 90% of the way through. And now I'm going to do the same thing, except for I'm going to only go 90% of the way to the end, the same side that I did left the 10% when I was this way. I'm going to go 90% of the way through to the end and all the way through to the bottom of the onion. Same size, about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm just moving my hand along here to protect myself from this sharp knife I'm using. And now it's all kind of splayed here. So I've got this one end here connecting all the pieces that I've chopped to make it easier to kind of contain the onion. And again, I'm going to use my kind of brace here and chop my 1/4 inch. And you're going to get left with this sort of little chunk at the end here that we didn't cut all the way through. And if you want to save that, you could save it and put it into soup stock, or you could just kind of mince it up into the same size as the rest of the onion. So we've got some nice kind of pretty even pieces here, and that's the goal. So this piece, again, chop, 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 if you want to use it all, or save it, throw it in the freezer with the rest of your onion peels and garlic peels, and make yourself a beautiful soup stock. you can see that I'm finally at the crying stage of the onion chopping. So that was just a basic little how to dice and slice your onions. Thanks for watching.